something bad might happen to you in order to teach you a lesson to prepare you for something better later on. I know it's hard to think like that in the moment of the bad thing happening, but if you really think about it, all the negative things and the positive things that led you to where you are today got you to where you are today. And if not for those negative and positive things, you might not be here. You might not have the great job you just got, or the little girl sitting next to you, anything. Like you can't live with any regrets, you know what I'm saying? Because it's all a learning process from the beginning to where you are now to where you will be. You're learning the whole way, and you're gonna drop some stuff. You're gonna fall on your face. You're gonna break some eggs, and that's just part of what it is to be alive.
You should seek failures. See, if you're playing it safe, you're not gonna win. If you're playing it safe, like that old saying, you were taught when you were a little girl, better to be safe than sorry. Well, that's a bunch of crap. It's not better to be safe than sorry. It's by trying things that you figure out how far you can go. You got to get outside the box. Like it's reported, Edison tried 3,000 ways before he built the incandescent light. He said he didn't fail 3,000 times. He said there was 3,000 different steps to building a light bulb. Well, there's different steps to get to where you're going. And I really do treat winning and losing exactly the same. I do not let it upset me. If I'm into an idea, the idea of losing never enters my mind. See, I have worked with giants. I had the good fortune of working with Sir Edmund Hillary. He was the first man to stand on top of the world. And I worked with him on 3 different occasions. And the only difference in Ed Hillary and Bob Proctor is in his size. Now, he's gone now, but he was a big man. When he shook hands with me, his hand wrapped right around mine. I felt like a dwarf, And in talking to him, like it never entered his mind he wouldn't get to the top of the mountain. But he failed in 1951. He failed in 1952. It wasn't until 1953 that he got to the top of the mountain. Now, people had died for centuries trying to do that. But he said, I knew if I could see it in here, I could hold it out here. Stella Mann wrote that in a book. You can see it in your head, you can hold it in your hand. And that's right. And if you're not prepared to lose, you're never going to win, because you're always playing it safe. And there's no reward in that.
Be so good at what you do, to paraphrase Steve Martin's words, that you create your own personal economy.
Right.
Because the marketplace always pays for mastery. So the best in world, BIW, say, in a world where most people resign themselves to mediocrity in their work, you go into hotels or taxi drivers or whatever it is, it's like so many people are at average. They're card-carrying members of the cult of mediocrity. So it's a gorgeous opportunity to say, I'm going to play at mastery and be so good at what I do that when people witness me working at what I do, tears come to their eyes, like tears come to your eyes if you go to the Sistine Chapel and see Michelangelo's work. You want to get your routines right. What made the great athletes? Not their natural talents, that the right routines.
Right.
So you've got to nail your habits, and the best in world leaders, they really have great habits. So many of them, 5 a.m. club. So many of them, they go to the learning every quarter. So many of them have masterminds. So many of them are into personal development. They'll never tell you about it,
right,
but they're into personal development. So many of them are runners or into fitness. I mean, that is a game changer. You want to get fit like a professional athlete, watch what happens every other period of your life. Final thing I'd say, that the great leaders, they're cause-driven. If your source of motivation and engagement is money, you're never going to sustain the ups and the downs, the pain and the failure that you need to get to world class. You have to find a cause that touches you at a heart level or an emotional level, so you start living for a cause bigger than yourself. And that's not some platitude or romantic. You look at Steve Jobs. He didn't care about money. Even when he had money, all he had in his mansion or his house was a futon and a beautifully designed lamp. He wanted to bring beautiful products into the world that made people's lives better.
How much is a lot of money to you?
Yeah, that's a good question. Have you made, say, millions of dollars?
No.
Are you a rich man?
When you mean rich, what you mean?
You have a lot of possessions? A lot of money in the bank?
position make you rich? I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
There's so much knowledge out there, so much information, so many ways to get better. And we make so many mistakes. We're the product of our mistakes. And oftentimes the lesson is sitting there right in front of our face. It's there to be learned, but we miss it, or we don't pay attention to it, or we think we know better until it punches us in the face. And the most important thing to learn is that we have so much to learn. We all do. And we can learn from school and from people and from experience, and we learn from life. But you have to process the information. You have to absorb it. You have to accept it. You have to open your mind. You gotta free your mind so that you can learn and make real progress. And as far as regrets and things I wish I would have done differently, of course, hindsight is 20/20, and looking back, of course, who wouldn't want to take another go at something and improve on the first try by doing it again? And then why not do it again and again and again? And why not just do it over and over again until you have it perfect? But the fact is, you don't get that chance. You get one shot at this gig right here. Life. One life. That's all you've got. And regret, in and of itself, it's worthless. It does nothing for you. In fact, the only valuable thing in regret is the lesson you learned, the knowledge that you gained. But walking around filled with regret gets you nothing. So, learn and move on. Don't let regret beat you down. Don't be a slave to regret. No. Let it teach you. Let it make you better. Let the fear of regret fuel you to take action today, now. To take action now to become a better person, not filled with regret, but filled with knowledge. Filled with knowledge and strength and power, and filled with life.